Hi everybody, this is Lara from Pure Elliott Wave with your daily update for Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP and Solana. Bitcoin continues to move sideways. It has swings from resistance to support, to resistance to support, to resistance. A couple of tests up here. Now I expect overall most likely a choppy overlapping downward swing to support about 60,700 or possibly 58,200. If we see a break below 58,200, because there's been a false break below here previously, I would want to see 2 or 3 days away before we have confidence in a downward breakout. What is more likely is an upward breakout, because this rectangle comes after the context of an upward trend. In that context, 2/3 of rectangles will break out upward, 1/3 will break out downward. For the very short term, the volume profile remains bullish. Upward sessions have still slightly stronger volume than downward sessions. On balance, volume remains within a range, and these lines are slightly diverging. Let's hope we get a signal with a break above resistance or below support, but we may not, because as time goes on, the lines, because they're diverging, will get further and further apart. ADX is declining. The DX lines have crossed over again. At this time, there is no trend indicated at the daily time frame. The larger trend at the monthly time frame for Bitcoin is still extremely bullish. With no clear trend indicated, let's expect the model of stochastics plus support and resistance is telling us we should expect overall a downward swing for stochastics to continue toward oversold and price to continue towards support as outlined at the price chart. And when they both reach those areas simultaneously, that may be where and when the downward swing may end. Ethereum remains below resistance at 3680 and above support at 3200. Let's expect overall a downward movement to continue until we reach support at 3200 is most likely. First of all, it has to overcome support at the 50-day moving average. That's the purple line. And the green on all my charts is the 200-day moving average. For the very short term, downward sessions have strongest push from volume, so I will expect possibly more downward movement from Ethereum, but for the short to mid-term, it is previous upward sessions have strong push from volume and an increase in range. Volume and volatility still favour the upside for Ethereum. This downward movement looks most likely a counter-trend movement. ADX is declining, the DX lines are crossing over, there is no clear trend either for Ethereum. And the model of stochastics plus support and resistance tells us that stochastics is very near to oversold, but price has got a little way to go before it reaches support. The last downward swing, stochastics didn't quite reach oversold, so it's possible that the downward swing for Ethereum could end here, short of support, with stochastics short of oversold. It's also unfortunately possible that price could continue lower towards support at 3,200 and only end about there when stochastics properly reaches oversold. This is the main daily Elliott Wave count for XRP. It considers intermediate wave 2 was complete here as a double zigzag, and intermediate wave 3 beginning there with minor wave 1 incomplete, minute wave 1 complete here, minute wave 2 possibly to move a little bit lower as a zigzag, A, B, C, C to be a 5-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 may not move into 1, so a new high above 0.5079 would invalidate this wave count for the very short term, indicating this scenario is most likely. It is also possible that the pullback for minute wave 2 may be complete. Minute 2 may not move beyond the start of 1 below 0.4309. I developed this weekly alternate in response to a question from a long-standing member on Twitter. He said, what if we do get a new low below 0.4309? What else could be happening? It's possible a triple zigzag could be continuing lower for intermediate 2, W, X, Y, X, Z. The problem with this wave count is triple zigzags aren't exactly rare, but they're really uncommon. The uncommon probability of the structure means the probability of this wave count is quite low. Intermediate 2 may not move beyond the start of 1 below 0.2794. I would only consider this wave count if we see a new low by any amount at any time frame below 0.4309. Technicals for XRP, there was an ascending triangle. The breakout was downward. Ascending triangles most commonly break out upward, but can break out either upward or downward, and you need to wait for a breakout, which is a close above resistance or below support. That's these lines here of the triangle, on a session with push from volume preferably, in order to have confidence in the breakout. We did get a close below support on the 7th of June on a downward session which did have push from volume. That's a downward breakout. The target from the triangle is 0.4277. Price has to overcome support at 0.46 first in order for it to be able to get down there, and there is reasonably strong support at 0.46. So in order to have confidence in this target from the triangle at 0.4227, I want to see price close below 0.46 with some push from volume preferably in order to have confidence. For the very short term, it is downward sessions from XRP which have strongest volume. The short-term volume profile is bearish and supports that target from the triangle. ADX tells us XRP is in a downward trend which is not yet extreme. RSI is not oversold. However, on the 13th of April it did reach oversold, and this does not happen commonly, and when it does tend to be associated with long-term sustainable lows. That suggests the low of 13th of April is likely to not be breached. Money flow is also neutral. This is the Elliott Wave count for Solana. I had a bullish Elliott Wave count. It's been invalidated, which adds a little bit of confidence to this bearish Elliott Wave count. This Elliott Wave count sees a primary degree correction continuing lower as a zigzag. Zigzags are labelled A, B, C, and they subdivide 3, 3, 5. Intermediate B a complete 3, intermediate C needs to be a 5-wave motive structure downward. So far within it, it may have a minor 1, 2, we need to see 3, 4 and 5 complete. Intermediate C extremely likely to move at or below the end of A at 119.38481 to avoid a truncation. Truncations are very rare. Intermediate C, if it ends at the 0.618 Fibonacci ratio of primary 3, which is at 115.59176, that would avoid the truncation, and it would move a little bit below the end of A. Intermediate C must be a 5-wave structure. 1, 2, 3 is incomplete, may only subdivide as an impulse, may have begun with 1, 2, 1, 2. Now we need to see 3, 4, 3, 4, 5 to complete the impulse of minor wave 3. Solana has broken below what was support at 157, may now provide resistance. There's a little bit of space below for it to fall before it reaches next support at 118. For the very short term, the volume profile for Solana is bearish. This offers a little bit of support to the Elliott Wave count. The most recent signal from on-balance volume was bearish as it broke below the support line, which had 4 tests, a shallow slope, not too long held, so a little bit of technical significance. On-balance volume is back up at this line, which may now provide resistance and halt a rise in price. ADX has given us a very strong bearish signal for Solana. We should expect, as most likely at the daily time frame, for price to continue lower. There's a long way to go before this new downward trend reaches extreme. RSI is neutral. At the low of the 13th of April, RSI after that low did exhibit a little bit of bullish divergence, although it didn't reach oversold and the divergence is quite slight. That offers a little bit of support to the view that that low may be intact and doesn't align with the Elliott Wave count. But because RSI didn't reach oversold and the divergence is pretty slight, that's not good support. That's it from me today with your quick update. I hope everyone's having a lovely day.